Hi, everybody. Well, an eventful start to our cruise. We were supposed to be in Guernsey this morning, and we were going to get off the ship and walk around the cruise port, and yeah, things changed. So right now, apparently there's a real high pressure pulling in from Iceland area, which was one of those things that was affecting the Regal Princess last week. And now it's affecting us here on the Regal. A little bit for the worse, but possibly for the better as well. Let me explain. So this morning, we were supposed to meet at 8 o'clock. I'm going to meet with Para DJ and Tony from La Lita Loca, and we were going to walk off the cruise port and visit Guernsey and walk around, see the castle and things like that. Visit the cruise port. Well, I set my alarm at 7 o'clock, and as my alarm woke me up, I turned it off and I could hear the speaker out in the hallway. And I start listening, and it says, well, just to repeat, I've made the decision not to pull into port today because of windy conditions. Today was a tender port. We would have had to tender from the cruise ship. And they're not going to tender in rough seas and endanger people's lives or the vessel in any way. He also said there was no other ports that we could pull into safely at this time. And because of the rough seas and the wind, mostly the wind, was a big problem this morning. They said we made the decision to make today a sea day. Now, I got to bed around 1 a.m. and I set my alarm and everything for 7 a.m. And then by the time I fell asleep, I guess 2:30. But I was up and I was getting ready to get ready to go, and then I heard that, and I just and in my mind I'm going, we're missing the port. And then right away I started to think, yeah, but I'm really, really tired and I'm still jet lagged. And I rolled over and I just closed my eyes. And the next thing I know, from 7 a.m., it was 11 a.m. I slept for another 4 hours solid, which pretty means I was tired. I don't sleep usually 4 hours straight every night. So when I sleep 4 hours solid like that, I'm tired. So in a way, it turned out to be a good thing. Got that little extra rest because we have the next 7 days are all port calls too. So missing the first one, it was kind of nice to have that sea day. And the seas aren't that rough. I'm sitting here now. I do see some whitecaps out there and I can feel the wind hitting the ship. But the closer we get to our next ports and the more that high pressure is moving, apparently it's going to make our weather and our sailing much nicer once we break into that high. It's not the two forces pushing against each other in the weather. Once we cross that line and get into the high temperature, the temperature will be much warmer, as well as we will be able to have much calmer seas as well for our next stop, which I believe, let me see, it is Cork tomorrow. So yeah, not that big a deal. It's nice to have the sea day. I really did need that sleep after basically staying awake for 20 some hours on the flight here, and then losing 5 hours of time on the trip as well. So yeah, I think that extra little bit of sleep is good. And now that I have the time, instead of walking around the port, I just got myself into my sweat clothes and everything, and I'm going to head to the gym, do some workout, and then come back, get ready for dinner, and see a new Broadway team tonight. It's really odd. It's really odd on the ship because the ship has 3 casts on board, entertainment casts. One is a new production company that I've never heard of or seen before. Watched their first show last night. I enjoyed it. It was a team where they had the full band in the back from the Princess band on the Regal Princess, but then they had 4 singers and they had 2 dancers. I think they needed two more dancers, just to, when they're breaking things up a little bit and they're doing dance numbers. It looks awkward just having two dancers up there. If they would have had four where they could play off each other, it would have probably been a little bit better. But overall, I still enjoyed it. I liked the singing. I liked the songs. The dancing was fine. I just wish they had two more dancers for that, and I think that would really solidify that as a top show on board. Next, we have our regular production crew, but they're switching halfway through this cruise. So tonight we're going to see the cast that's leaving, and then the last production show on board will be the brand new cast's first production and first performance on board. So I get to see 3 different companies on board this ship. Pretty entertaining. I'm looking forward to this, and I do recognize quite a few people from the cast that's leaving. So I'm looking forward to meeting and seeing them tonight at the live show that's going on tonight. I believe tonight is Encore that they're singing, and it's their final number before getting off the ship, which is kind of exciting because they're always in a good mood and want to put on a good performance. And then the new cast will come in, and they're going to be their first ever performance, which is going to be them trying to be their best as well. So, wow. This could turn out, for a guy who likes Broadway shows, this cruise could turn out to be fantastic.